Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. It's always a treat to be joined by Joe Gallagher on Fight Week. Seeing quite a lot of you now. You fighters are getting out, staying active. You've got Callum Thompson on what is a historic week here in Belfast. Michael Conlan, Lopez. But first off, let's talk about Callum. There's a special tribute planned. He's just alluded to. He's going to be wearing some gold shorts tonight. For the people that don't know, can you just explain a little bit about what that's in aid of?
Well, as you know, we're all back at Champs Camp now, Moss Side, and if you've seen him at Corley's last fight, he wore gold shorts, and Jose against Zorro, and it's 29 years today since Phil's passing, so Callum Thompson will be wearing gold shorts tonight and gold gloves in memory of him, Phil Martin, so his legacy continues. And it was just a nice touch that Tomo said he'd do for me, so yeah, fair play to him.
I've seen, I won't say a change in you, but I've seen, I don't know what it's called, either a resurgence or that. You seem to have got such energy at the minute in terms of this gym. You can see how much it means to you, and you wanting to continue that legacy on. How much of a buzz is it for you now to be training these fighters at that gym in a place that means obviously a lot to you?
Yeah, listen, it's great to, like I say, I went there 85, 86 and started coaching there in 91, first national champion 93, so to come back there 30 years later with all the fighters, Tasha, Butler, Charlie, Mark F and the next generation, Sean Yaxley, Clark, Tomo, it's massive, and to be there, obviously we had Callum Thompson pop in the other day, Maurice Cole's always been there, he's kept it going over the years, Henry Armstrong was in, Steve Alogba, so it's great to see also all the old boys come back into the gym, and Mario Culpeper to watch everyone train in that, so it's good, there's a good buzz, there's a good sense of belonging, and that's what the gymnasium has always been. If you fight one, fight all, and that's most probably where my mentality came from with Gallagher's gym, so listen, the gym's doing well, and it's great to keep Phil's name and legacy going. Manchester Boxing, I know there's a show in Manchester tonight as well. Ed Hearn's got a show there in Manchester tonight, but Manchester Boxing, people forget Manchester Boxing won't be where it was if it wasn't Phil Martin. The amount of people that came through them doors under Phil Martin, which was myself, Maurice Coe, Ensley Bingham, Oliver Harrison, Humphrey Harrison, Haroon Hedler, Billy Graham. You wouldn't have had your Ricky Hatton, Jamie Moores, Anthony Crothers or anything else for that now, so people have to realise where the seeds were sort of laid and how they've all gone into fruition now, and Manchester Boxing is buzzing of it.
Absolutely, and in the next few years, I don't doubt, when people talk about the gyms, you go to the wild card with Freddie Roach, obviously there's your Mayweather gym in Las Vegas, you've got all these gyms around the world that have that certain buzz, that feeling. I've no doubt that this in a few years will be, probably in a few months and in a less time, will be a place where fighters come to want to train and want to come and have a look and really get involved with it. Look, so let's talk about Callum a little bit. 6 fights, 6 victories. He's improving under you. He seems in a good place. What can we expect? What can we expect tonight? It's a huge bill for him to showcase his skills.
No, listen, when George Warren phoned me and said, listen, we've got Tomo, he's on in Belfast, I said to Callum, went, wow. I said, that's a massive show, that, to be part of that show, the build-up and the occasion and being around it, it's huge. You've seen it yesterday at the weigh-in last night, the huge turnout. And having been here with Scott Quigg in the past when he was fighting Carl Frampton, we know how passionate. Belfast is a great fight city, a great boxing city. It's very much like what Liverpool and what Manchester is. It's a great fight city to know the boxing. It's got a good history of boxing, and for Callum to come here now to fight on the undercard, it's a great experience for him, and great huge thanks for Jamie Conlan and Frank Warren and George for putting him on the show, but it's for Callum to go out now and show everyone what he's all about. Like his 7th fight tonight, puts a good performance in, and then like you say, we'll hopefully get him out again very soon, and going into the new season, maybe beginning next year, we may start looking at some type of titles.
Early days for him, but how pleased are you with what you've seen to this point? Obviously it will still be a work in progress, you'll still be trying to get him improve, but how happy are you with where he is at right now?
Callum, listen, I could be happier, I'm not going to lie. I could be happier.
All coaches could be, let's be honest.
Yeah, no, exactly. I could be happier, but listen, Callum, like you say, he's a young kid. He's in a tough sport, and he's improving. But he knows that himself. He needs to just knuckle down that little bit more. And he's got the skills in abundance, but I tell him skills are no good if there's no hard work with it. But like you say, he's got to go out tonight now and put a performance in, and he's promised me now, like going forward, this will be like, he'll be on it all the time. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the background in his personal life, and that's sort of like half sidetracked. I mean, you can't be too hard on him. This is a job for him, and family comes first, and he's had situations outside of boxing that he's got to deal with. But the thing is, he's still been coming into the gym. He's still here and he's ready to fight, and like you say, we feel we've gone through that now and he's back onto the boxing and we can push forward now.
Absolutely. Look, Joe, I want to get your opinion on this main event as well. Luis Alberto Lopez, Michael Conlan. The bookies couldn't split it throughout the week. They've said it's a dead even 50-50 is what it's showing on paper. What do you think happens tonight?
I think Conlan's in a huge fight, but he's got the right man in the corner for him for a big night and a big fight with Adam Booth. He's been there, he knows what to say at the right time and in the right situation. And lessons would have been learnt last time out. I seen Adam Booth's interview saying he didn't expect to have had Lara-Wood on the floor early on and all that stuff, and I think Colin surprised everyone that night, and like you say, until down the straight it came apart, but lessons would have been learnt from that. He knows that he can come out, he knows he can punch, and he'll have that confidence, and with the crowd behind him as well, I think they'll pip him over the line, and he won't take his eyes off the ball or get dragged into the opponent's type of fight, because that was what was his undoing last time. He was ahead. So lessons learned, and like you say, first time you're driving test, you fail it. Second time around, you know what to expect, and I expect Conlan to win tonight.
Let me get your opinion on the flip side, the show that's in Manchester. Yesterday we saw a lot of controversy over the weight of Mauricio Lara. Couldn't make championship weight, was given a certain weight to make. He's almost fighting coming in at a weight division above when you look at the scales. What would you have done as a trainer in that position? Ben Davison's obviously came out and said, look, I'm not happy. He was never going to make the weight anyway. He's a dangerous puncher as it is. You as a trainer, is that a really difficult position where you've got your fighter to make championship weight? He's done everything correctly and you've got a guy who's not made it. And I'm assuming in the background that man won't be allowed to weigh a certain amount today, but I'm not sure. So I don't think that's been confirmed yet. But what do you make of the whole situation?
It's a tough one, really. I was there in Dubai not long ago with Butler when he was due to fight for the world title, and he failed weight. Casamora, he failed weight, and they had an opponent stand by, a world-class fighter. And I just said at the time, listen, we're not here to have a what-if world title and a what-if. Listen, we didn't do nothing wrong, failed weight, so I didn't put Paul in with him. I think going straight into this fight with Lara-Wood is a huge risk and a huge gamble. Wins tonight and he pulled off, and it's a calculated, and hindsight's a wonderful thing. The other side, if it doesn't, like I said, Lara hasn't had to struggle to make that weight, championship weight, so he's not had to put that stress on him, on his body. But at the same time, something that doesn't sit right, something somewhere doesn't sit right. Lara's been over in this country 2 or 3 times. He's made world title weights 2 or 3 times. He knows there's a check weigh a few days out, and I think it's very, very unprofessional of him to think to come over and not be. There's something not right here. Either they did the check weigh first thing in the morning, it was a check weigh before he had a session, or it wasn't a check weigh after a session. I don't know, something doesn't sit right, or the opportunity was given to make weight. So for him, if he's got to put him in for that fight, it's a big risk, and especially with a puncher. Me, I would have just said no, that's it, let's move on, we'll fight for a world title against whoever the next challenger is, and I wouldn't have risked it, because if it comes apart tonight, that's the end of Lara-Wood's career.
Absolutely, it is a difficult one, and I'm very interested to see how that fight unfolds, just because of everything that's gone on before it. It was a dangerous fight before all this, and now potentially even more. Look, Joe, I appreciate your time. It's been good catching up. Ironic, 29 years today. I know it's a special day for you, your gym, and obviously Callum will go out there and do you all proud. So we wish you all the best tonight, and we'll catch up after his fight.
No problem. Cheers. Thanks.